Welcome to Grimsby Docks. And right here is a docks film with so much history. And I'm going to do my best to document and show you guys what remains and give you brief looks inside all of the buildings here that I can access. Hopefully you enjoy it. Come on, let's go.
Grimsby as a port, there's references back to 1165.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Oh,
when
wow.
Henry II granted permission for the city of Lincoln to raise tolls against men from Norway who used Grimsby as a trading centre. The port, prior to 1796, when the Grimsby Haven Act was passed, was run by the corporation. Now that continued right up to the coming of the railways, which was in the 1850s. And the Manchester, Sheffield and Lincolnshire Railway Company took over thereafter. It was then that there was substantial capital investment, starting with the Royal Dock.
Okay.
Right?
So it's the railways that
It was the
got it all
railway.
started.
That's right.
Right here, we have the historic fish market of Grimsby Docks. This thing is incredibly old, and we're going to have a quick look inside to show you the place. Oh wow. Look at the pier. All of this is falling in. Wow. This is pretty cool. The laundry room. Oh, wait, some newspapers. We're looking at 2005. This is 1988. There's such a vast difference in dates here. Random newspaper bits. Oh, yeah, this one looks old. This one looks very old. Not see any dates. 1987.
bugs. There's photos. Bunch of photos here. All the drinks they had. Oh wow. Yeah, we've got a bunch of machinery, old ladders, walkways, bits and pieces. The barbed wire still connected, the ladder still patched up. Sorts of rails and slidings and things. The hatchway, it's quite windy. Bunch of machinery. All of these conveyors. Look at all the walkways, still covered in barbed wire. With this, you can just see over there, it's connected to the ice company, directly connected. All of these were up here, connected to this building, spanning across the road. There was multiple further down. Some old photos I can overlay showing all of these still up there. Bridges would have connected over.
This is the historic part of the Port of Grimsby. It's a horseshoe shape, and we call this whole historic area the Casbah. But right now we're going down Auckland Road. So all the streets on the port are named after the directors of the railway, so that's the Manchester, Sheffield, Lincolnshire Railway, or they were engineers associated with the building of the port, the secretaries, the solicitors. What is great when you come down here is despite the fact it's undergone so many changes, it still has a strong story to tell through those street names, but also through these wonderful old buildings that we've got left. Grimsby itself is a town within a town, because if you think there were thousands of people working down here, and if this is your place of work, you don't really want to walk off the port. And so things like banks started to come. So you can still see the decals on the windows there saying Lloyd's Bank. And then at the very end of this row, we have what was a post office. you know, things that sometimes you don't imagine are on a port, but you've got to think it was a little town.
Alright, so as you see here, so many abandoned buildings, so many fish filleting companies. Just over here, we're going to have a look inside this building.
Wow. This is pretty old. This is pretty old. The big freezer. Mad.
Doesn't smell like fish anymore.
Oh, okay. Stairs going up into offices. Oh, it doesn't smell great in here. It's into the offices. Oh, okay. Everything's empty, but it looks very, very dated. Seafood Specialist Limited, 1995. Mad. Oh, hello. There's another kitty. Oh. There's lots of kitties here. I can't believe how much is abandoned here. There's just so much building after building. It just never ends. Endless offices. Mad. It just keeps going. Just keeps going. More paperwork. What's this? 2008. Oh, some of these are quite old. 2010, 2011. Seeing those dates again, so this place has been abandoned like 15 years, it seems. Oh, yeah. It's crazy. More stairs going down. Right. Surely we've come to an end here, yeah. I say, how much further can the building go? God damn it. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. There's quite a lot up here.
When Grimsby was first developed, one of the big pluses and why it developed as a town and the port was because of the railway. So it arrived in Grimsby in 1848, came to the docks under the influence of people like Sir Edward Watkin, And when you look at the layout of the port, you can clearly see how the railway was dominant, because if you look at the building just here, can you see how it triangulates? So a lot of the buildings were built around the railway lines, and that's why some of them are these real unusual shapes. So this is Cross Street. So in Cross Street, we had a lot of railway lines coming in, going straight over, because the pontoon which snaked around the port from Murray Street was over a mile long, said to be the longest fish pontoon in the country. And where Cross Street comes out onto Warncliffe Road, that was the original entrance to the fish market. So the railway lines went straight up there. Interesting story behind these. So they're all built in the early 1900s. So again, just like we do today, buildings got reused or repurposed, or they were pulled down. And these buildings are beautiful red brick warehouses that were built for Moody and Kelly in the 1980s, when fish processors were trying to attract the big retailers to buy their fish. So old Victorian brick buildings didn't look very nice, they weren't appealing, not very modern. So the story is that the processors clad them all with this metal cladding to hide the architecture and make them look new. But in one respect, it's probably helped that it's protected the brickwork from those harsh elements. But again, as part of the renovation and refurbishment of this site, this cladding will come back down to reveal the beautiful windows and detail behind it.
Cats. So many cats. Big old freezer. It's more and more refrigeration units. The back. Some crazy graffiti in there. Wonder how old that is. So many cobwebs. No one's come through in a while. Oh wow, this is very dilapidated. Wow, wow, wow. This has not been touched since the 90s.
This box here.
Oh, very old books.
I haven't looked in this yet.
Oh, there's a lot of cobwebs.
Yeah.
Okay. Such weird random holes. Like, what the hell? There's like a fireplace back there and some shelves where they've walled it in. A random door up there. Teapots and things, yeah. Walkie-talkies, heaters. Oh. Don't know what would have been behind that door, but there's no opening it now. And I guess that is that. It's kind of crazy how they've just stuck a huge refrigerating unit in here and like it doesn't even fit in the room. It's crazy. I'm over here now. One of the few active buildings. Oh, that felt spongy. Didn't like that. Okay. We go back down. I don't think I'm going much further than this, you know. This is pretty dilapidated. I don't think there's any other way down here. This is the top floor of this building. The end is over there. All the floors have caved in. That's it. Okay, so there's nothing else that way. It seems to be just huge refrigeration units, freezers beneath us. This is just into the offices. There's no way into anything there. Not unless I'm willing to crawl along the top. Which I'm not. I'm definitely not going to crawl along the top.
This street is the entrance into what is called the square by a lot of people, but this is the original Casbah. So when we walk into this, we're walking into a triangle and we've got buildings surrounding us. And in the centre, where these vans are, you can see the outline of where the original buildings were. So it was a closely compacted space with narrow streets intersecting it. A lot of smokehouses were in here. And at some point in its history, and we've got records which show the use of the word Casbah over many, many years, somebody who either worked here or was a visiting sailor or merchant, but somebody who was well-travelled and knowledgeable, came along and thought it looked like a Casbah. So Casbah is an Arabic word for a fortified town. So when you've got a set of buildings encircled by this wall of buildings, from looking down, you've got a fortified area. So this is the original Casbah.
Here we have Grimsby Amateur Boxing. I can thankfully give you a brief look inside. Let's go. What a find. This looks crazy. They punched his face off. Mad, his weights. 2019. 2020? What? Combination punches. Mad. What is this? No way. This is a boxing ring. They should have their own boxing ring. Oh, there's so many cobwebs I just walked through right now. Whoa. They've got the heights of everyone. There's another room through there, it seems. It's closed up. Look at all the heights. 2012. It's got all the dates. 2010. 09. Over here we've got 05. 11. 07. 06. 1999. Mad. Okay, let's down these stairs. And it's quite an old sign. Holy! This is completely untouched. It's completely untouched. There's cobwebs here. The water's shut off. Mad. Okay. New York coffee. Still some in there. When did that go out of date then? 2025. What? What? This just gets even more confusing. Some Urbex. What? It's on.
It's on.
Now, does that mean these lights will work? No way. The boiler works now, look. No way. Look at this.
Oh, it looks interesting here.
Chandeliers.
Oh wow. Pretty cool.
Very old wooden beams here.
Mm-hmm.
What a find.
So we're on Fishstock Road. You can hear the sound of construction work because a port never stays still. But what is great down this road is we've got a real interesting mix of architectural styles. So when the port was first laid out, each was laid out in a building plot. A leaseholder took the plot on with a provision that they built the building. So depending on how wealthy you were, your building is either really extravagant, like the old Coast Salt building with the coat of arms of Grimsby and the date stone, or it's really plain, like the old Ice and Ocean, which was a bank.
This is horrific. No one's come through here in so long. Oh wow. Okay, look at this. Are these like hairdressing seats or something? Right. There's chemicals over here. There's a sort of machine here. Oh, there's a scale. And it still works. Should we see how much I weigh?
Oh! But it's in stones, isn't it? Oh no, it's also in kilograms, no? No, maybe not.
Yeah, but it's definitely broken because apparently I'm only 1 kilogram. There are so many dead pigeons in here, it's insane. Okay, well, this is somewhere different.
Yes, you can go through that.
Oh wow.
Different house now. Super wall.
keyboard, there's a mouse. Mad. So just climbing through the walls now. Okay. Very old staircase. Oh. Okay. Okay.
What's stinky here?
It's probably this refrigerator.
Yeah.
It seems like it might end here though. This is like a toilet. Okay, more fancy windows. It does seem like this is where the property ends though. Yeah.
And I think another interesting point is the building that's in front of us,
Yes.
in as much as that it's in two halves, but rather than being two buildings together, they're sort of back to back.
Oh,
It's a back
okay.
to. You see what I'm
Yes,
saying?
yeah.
And if you look in the corner, you can see the fireplaces. So I was wondering, because the front of the building faced the fish market, perhaps the people who had that built were more affluent than those that constructed it in Henderson Street, because of course it's at the back of the original building
Yes,
and seems completely divorced from that.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know what
That's-
your thoughts are.
Yeah, I mean, that could be true because the front of the building would have been earlier anyway.
Yes.
Warncliffe Road was the first bit to be built, wasn't it? So,
Because you'd have Warncliffe Road first, which faced the market and
Yep.
faced the original pontoon.
Yep.
And then they would start to expand by coming, south, moving south away from the market.
yep, if you were a fish merchant up here, you'd want to be right next to the fish market, wouldn't you?
That's
so
right.
you'd want to be on Warncliffe Road.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if you can't afford that,
Mm.
you'd have to then look at places like
next best thing.
That's right,
Yeah.
Henderson Street.
So I've stopped here just to point out the dock tower. Of course, that is the symbol of Grimsby. Everybody, when they're coming from land, sees that. And of course, it was used as a beacon by sailors to guide them to the port. But there's an interesting story. So in the Second World War, there was a plan by the British government to demolish the dock tower because high-ups in the military deemed it to be used by the Luftwaffe as a guide to guide them to come and bomb the ports, because of course Grimsby and Hull were impacted by that. Now, some papers that came out after the war in Germany were from Hitler saying to his flying crews to not bomb the dock tower because they used it as a beacon to guide them inland. So you've got the Germans using it and the British wanting to pull it down. But then the RAF went to the British government and said, well, you can't demolish the dock tower because we also use it as a beacon. So in a way, you could probably say Hitler saved the dock tower from demolition in the Second World War. But it is, today it's just that great symbol. It's still there, standing, guiding us all back to home.
We're now at the end of Warncliffe Road. This part is really the oldest part of the fish dock,
Right.
because Warncliffe Road faced the fish market. Vessels used to come in through the lock and they used to berth at a pontoon, which was T-shaped, that went out into the dock itself.
Right,
Right.
okay.
Now this is 1856, 57. It became operational in 1857. By 1860, there wasn't sufficient room for all the vessels. And the T-shaped jetty and pontoon was removed to create greater space.
Yep.
By the 1870s, they were looking for more space. By the mid-1870s, they were looking at building number 2 fish dock.
Wow.
And behind us, there's the cutting that goes from number 1 fish, or what became number 1 fish dock, into number 2 fish dock. But all this area is the sort of crux of the fishing industry within Grimsby. And when you look down Warncliffe Road, you can see the original rail lines, because when they demolished the T-shaped pontoon, they built a wharf that extended from where we're standing now in the direction of the dock tower.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Okay. Yep.
And behind it, they put the rail lines in.
Right.
Now,
okay.
there are photographs that show that there were 3 lines of wagons next to each other. And when they were taking the fish from the market, from the wharf, they put it on barrows and on a planks of wood from one rail wagon to another rail wagon to another rail wagon going across.
What you have got here, look, is the old railway track. So again,
Where the railway
the railway to come in. The old pontoon was here, and you know, they're wagons, boxes going on, and they're going off out of town. And then, of course, in later years, when the fishing industry had declined and then we didn't need all that port and the dock side, then fish dock number 1 part of it got reclaimed, and it's where the current fish market now sits.
The historic Grimsby Ice Company. This thing has some incredible artifacts left inside. We're going to have a look.
So here we are in Grimsby Ice Company. Very old, very dilapidated building. Look at the little details here. Just left in between the scaffolding. This has definitely seen better days.
In the office, the clock is marking out the time, for this is the last month of production for the ice factory. A once thriving business is about to close, and in so doing completes another chapter in the life of the Grimsby fishing industry.
First they're trying to save this building. There are plans in the works to turn this place into a theatre. Various private businesses and apartments, such, you know. It's a hand crank. Some bits move, but it's mostly seized. Go up the very rusted, filled with cobwebs staircase. Look at this. Wow.
The 6 condensers, each 16 foot high, contain 420 2-inch tubes, where heat is taken out of the ammonia by a water circulation. The ammonia is the refrigerant used to produce this, the finished product, blocks of ice.
another room up there. Okay, up to the next level. This looks crazy. The entire roof's collapsed through here. There's brambles growing, everything. Man, I don't know what's safe and what isn't. Send it down here real quick. Okay. Bye. What even is all this machinery? Mad. It's our basement. That's crazy. Oi. Why? Wow, this is mental. No way. This is sick. This is definitely the best bit.
The main compressor house contains 4 of the 5 ammonia compressors, made by J&E Hall Limited of Dartford. Originally, power for the factory was provided by steam-powered vertical triple expansion engines. But in 1933, these were replaced by the large electric induction motors.
Gotta get as many pictures as I can. Man. Oh, we got some nice sunlight too. Wow. So I have a control room here. All right. Why? Why? Oh, crazy.
The 5th machine, added during the 1933 expansion, stands in a separate compressor hall.
Yeah. Oh, we're going up the spiral staircase. Whoa. Oi, this isn't very safe here. Yeah, get a picture of this. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, not a chance in hell. Not a chance in hell. Oh, perfect. Yes, this way. Yeah. Oh, nice. We made it. It's the water tank. Yeah, we are on the tallest point. What a view.
Is taken from the dock by two 18-inch suction pipes positioned under the West Market. Here we can see the tops of the ammonia condensers. Ammonia is compressed to a high pressure gas and then condensed to a liquid form in these heat exchangers, where it is cooled by water pumped out of the dock, which goes through the exchanger tubes and back into the dock. The ammonia gas surrounds the tubes in the vessel and is converted to a liquid. The liquid is then transferred to an evaporator coil. The ammonia then evaporates, extracting heat from the brine in the brine tanks, and in turn the brine extracts heat from the water in the ice making molds, thus making ice.
Yeah.
Ice will still be used, but never again produced in the same way that it was at the Grimsby Ice Factory.
you can imagine, you know, back in that day, it's all hustle and bustle and exciting with deals to be had, and as more and more people come on, you know, that it just grows bigger to the point where Grimsby fish was being exported globally, and the fish merchants and the trawler owners here, you know, start to explore new markets.